So Hazel, we've just released Cover Plus album on Cherry Red.
Yep.
It hasn't been available for many, many years now. So what's your memories of this album?
Sublime, absolutely sublime. I'll tell you the reason, because I got to record again with Tony Visconti.
So this was after the Breaking Glass album, you did this, yeah.
After Breaking Glass album, I did Sons and Lovers, and then I really, really wanted to work with Tony, and I asked Albion Records, please can we get Tony? And Tony agreed to do it. And I knew it was going to be successful because of his input and the way that we worked together. Trust him, always will trust him musically. Then I got to do the songs that, the way round that I'd really wanted to do them with our feel. Him and I had a feel of music together, so yeah.
And had you actually written all the songs before you went to the studio?
I'm trying to remember. Tell me a few, because I can't remember.
I'm going to read them, we might.
Oh, shall I have a look? Give me a minute and I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I should, yeah. Yeah, because like Cover Plus thing, I'd already started writing them, because that one, for example, came about because when we were little, we were playing doctors and nurses down the back of this girl's mum's garden. And we had our pants down, but we were like 3 or 4. And the mother turns up and she tells us we're dirty little mucky pups and get out, and made us feel really bad. And I thought that was a terrible thing to do to kids, because I looked after a little child years later who was a hippie child, and she was not looked after very well by her parents, who were addicted to substances. And that kid had one morning, when I came down to the breakfast room, I used to be leaving their breakfast out, then they'd gone out to play in the garden. When I got down, there was a poo in her breakfast dish, and she was about 3 or 4. And I remembered then how this awful woman had treated us and made us feel like we were criminals just because we got our pants down. We didn't even know what having your pants down meant then. And so likewise, when I treated this other little girl, I said, I did one little thing. I said, I want you girls to wash your own dishes this morning. And then poor little thing, she said, oh no, I didn't do it. It's not my dish. You know how a kid will. And I said, it's all right, don't worry. It's okay. But, you know, wash your dish. So same thing. That's why Cover Plus got written, because I didn't like that. And I'd seen too much of it through my life, of two-facedness. And I have to say it, you know, because I do allude to, you know, dirty old men, you know, watching women peel off their clothes in the red light.
When you write, do you get the lyrics first or the song first, tune first?
Can be any which way. It's usually I'm humming a tune because I get bored when I'm driving or I'm walking or doing something. I always have to sing a song to myself. So as I'm going doodly doodly do, a bit like Babe in the film, you know, lo, 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 have a song in my head, and then I start singing a tune, or I might have a set of words that I really want to say, and then I'll just start singing a tune for them.
But how do you know the tune isn't somebody else's tune that you've already heard?
I'm dead careful about not listening to people's stuff.
Okay.
Except for if I've really seriously nicked something on purpose. You know, like I know a latest song that I've written called Hey Ho, I'm Still Breathing. There's a bit that sounds like Woody Woodpecker. But that's just like a little lick. And so I'll just, if there's a lick I really like, I might nick a lick, but not more than that. I have to stay away from things. And anyway, how can anybody not, you know, we've got 8 notes in the, you know, in the Western scale of music. I listen to Ed Sheeran, and I think, I bet that lad was brought up on Van Morrison, because there's some licks I hear in certain songs, like Thinking Out Loud. some of it just sounds like Van the Man, just some little bits, not like nicking, but licking. And so if there's a lick, Hanging Around, obviously, we did that because I'd been supporting the Stranglers, and I got to sing that song, and I loved it. I thought it was a great song. And also when Hugh Cornwall had gone into prison for 2 months for drug offences, the band had asked different singers to come on the Rainbow Theatre gig and take over from Hugh because he wasn't going to be there. So they asked me to sing Hanging Around and Grip, and that's when I thought, oh, I'd love to do that song. So that's why Hanging Around happened. E.I. Adio, that was put out initially by Albion as a single.
It was your first single, wasn't it?
And I really didn't want it put out, but they did. So Lee said best mended, soonest mended. Things like So You're Born, things like that came out of, there was a poet called Louis MacNeice, and he had a poem called I'm Not Yet Born, Let Not the Blood-Sucking Rat or the Stoat Come Near Me. And all of that stuff, that and Dawn Chorus came from that idea of things that are not yet born. And Dawn Chorus was I kind of wanted to do a classical thing with that. Animal Farm, because of course I read George Orwell, and I just think that's amazing thought, you know, that somebody says, come on, we're going to have a revolution, and then, you know, the pigs take over, and then they're now the new dictators, and so on. And Runaway was that's written because of my running away, my Amsterdam.
Was that Morocco?
Going to Amsterdam. No, yeah, it was definitely going to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And, you know, saying to myself, you know, I'm the one that's always running away from myself, which I have done, you know. Do what you got to do, because I love Nina Simone, and when I was 11 I used to go dancing at the Locarno in Coventry, and I heard a single called That's Life played, and I thought it was a man singing, and then I went to the record shop and it was the first single I bought, and called I Got Life, and then the B-side had a Jimmy Webb song that she sang called Do What You Got to Do, so I wanted to record that. And Many Good Fortune, Lou Reed fan obviously, but I wanted to do it a slightly different way round, and That's Life, because I have a bit of a Piaf bent as well, you know. I love Piaf, and I love Marlene Dietrich. I love that kind of performance, and I wanted to write one that had that feeling of no regrets.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, good.
Oh, look, you've got all sorts of bonuses on here.
Of course.
Crikey, Mikey. Oh, yeah, great.
So it's your album, you didn't know the bonuses on there.
But, you know, it comes to me the last. Yeah, I love Cover Plus. I love it. And I love the way, I have to say, you know, for all my ups and downs with Albion, I loved the way this was packaged, that they had that big poster. And some people come to these gigs that we're doing now, and they have the poster still that they had on their bedroom wall, which I think is a great. This picture, this artist just did beautiful work.